So if you are wondering, what does it mean for you as a buyer or as a seller in the real estate world, what just happened where the National Association of Realtors agreed to a proposed litigation settlement. Are commissions gone for realtors? Not necessarily. Okay, so the following scenarios will be possible. First, the sellers can offer compensation to the buyer's agent of MLS now through negotiation and consultation with the real estate professional. Second, sellers can offer buyer concessions on an MLS, for example, concessions for buying closing costs, which now may include buyer's agent compensation. And third, buyers working with a real estate professional to represent them in a transaction must enter into a written agreement that includes the compensation for the buyer's agent. So we have to be very careful here, because in the event buyers do not have their own representation in the transaction, the listing agent will have the following options. First, stay as a single agent to the seller and have the buyer to sign a non-broker representation, where the buyer has no representation at all, which in my opinion leaves the buyers in a very vulnerable situation unless the buyer has knowledge about the real estate transaction world. And the second scenario, where the listing agent transitions from single agent to the seller to a transaction agent to the buyer and to the seller, now offering a limited form of representation. So that agent won't act in any fiduciary capacity for any of the parties. If buyers find themselves into this scenario, they need to make sure that transaction agent is a professional, because some agents may encounter themselves with conflicting interests because they are actually getting paid by the seller, even though they are acting as a transaction agents. So be careful there. My takeaways about this is that many buyers struggle coming up with a down payment, so let alone now coming up with the agent compensation. So based on the current housing crisis in affordability, I think most of the offers buyers will present will request the seller some type of concessions. So at the end of the day, if sellers want to sell and buyers want to buy, they will need to make that work out.